What is going on, guys? UCF Jaguar here with my boy Jet Central. Follow his channel in the links below. But the Jaguars pull off a very stressful win, beating Cleveland Browns 19-7. And this game was a little stressful. I mean, it really just seemed like it was like the Jaguars defense versus like the Jaguars offense. I don't know, like the Jaguars were able to pull this one out 19-7. Defense played miraculously. They really only let Deshaun Kaiser drive the ball downfield once for a touchdown, but the rest of the game, 3 and outs, forcing all kinds of turnovers. It was really just a day for the defense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was definitely surprised on how well the Jacksonville Jaguars defense played. You know, I was also surprised with the Browns defense. I thought they played pretty well. But overall, I think it really just came down to, you know, Kaiser and the Browns offense not being able to move the ball. Yeah. And, like, at the end of the day, they only scored that one TD, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, it really just seemed like the first half, the cold weather was a big, like, influence and everything. I mean, the pass game really never got going. You know, Bortles didn't have really the best of games. Had, like, a few tip balls at the line of scrimmage, but one thing that really hurt us was 2 of our 5 starting offensive linemen were out this game. And the run game, like, it was pretty decent in the first half, but you know, once the second half came, they tried to put Blake, really just put the game out of his hands. They weren't wanting him to throw at all. He wasn't throwing down the field much, and they really just wanted to, like, put the ball, like, in Leonard Fournette's hands a lot, and, like, that's what they did. But I mean, the Jaguars right now, we're 4-0 against the AFC North. I mean, I can't think of another time that I've said that, and it's just, like, really exciting right now for the Jags, man.
Yeah, for real. I think one thing that is really important to note is that the Jags won the turnover battle, and the Jags, I feel like, won in the special teams. You know, like, I mean, I know what's his name, Lambeau missed the field goal, but overall, I think that the Jags special teams really dominated. You know, like Jabril Peppers had that 2 muff punts. I think one just went out of bounds, but you know, Jacksonville, they won the special teams. Played great defense. They won the turnover battle. So overall, just a great day.
Yeah, I mean, one good thing that we did do, like when we did, I think we had like 1 turnover, but we didn't set up the Browns in any kind of short fields. You know what I mean? We never gave them the ball where, you know, if we stopped them for a 3-and-out right there, they'd be able to kick a field goal. Like, you know, the game was always in the defense's hands. I mean, we had guys like Malik Jackson get in there for sacks. We had Dante Fowler get a sack as well. Yeah, Unique got 2 strip sacks today. And I was reading, like, in his 20-something game career, in his 2 years, he's had a total of 9 strip sacks. And, man, that's just crazy to be able to get your hands on a ball like that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy just because, like, he was a 3rd-round draft pick, and, like, you're getting so much, like, production in, like, the pass rushing game. You know, like, looking at, like, a team like the Jets, like, we invest, you know, 1st-round pick after 1st-round pick on the defensive side of the ball, and, like, we can't get after the passer. And it's just crazy, like, to me that, you know, the Jaguars pick up a guy in the 3rd round, and he's, like, dominant.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked out.
Yeah, and in that 2016 draft, we got, you know, the first 3 rounds, 3 blue-chip players at each, you know, level of the defense. We got Yannick Ngakoue on the defensive line, Miles Jack at the linebacker core, then we got Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, over there. And I mean, it was a, you know, really stressful game from the Jaguars. I did expect it to be kind of a close game just because I thought the Browns matched up well against the Jags, but I did think that we were going to pull out and be able to have, like, you know, win by double digits. But you know, it's definitely like a stressful game just because just the offense wasn't moving much. Like Cleveland, their strength is being able to defend the run, and like that's what they're able to do. But the Jaguars defense, I mean, they were saying the 2 longest runs of the day were by Kaiser having like a 10-yard run and like an 8-yard run, and just being able to like stop the run game and not let them do anything over there and really put the game into Kaiser's hands. That was the Browns' ultimate downfall this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I still like Kaiser, like, as a prospect because, like, you know, he's only 21. I think a lot of the time people forget that. But you know, overall, I think the Jags just did a great job stopping the run, like you said, forcing Kaiser to kind of make throws. And, you know, I think Hugh Jackson didn't really do well with the play calling down the stretch. I mean, of course, it is hard to, you know, gain big chunks of yards against this, or going up against this Jaguars defense. But overall, I'm impressed with Marrone. I'm impressed, you know, actually watching a full Jacksonville Jaguar game. Jets are obviously on a bye week. That's why I came up here. And overall, you know, I'm impressed. 7-3. Must be feeling pretty good.
Oh, yeah. 7-3 right now. This is our first time we've had a division lead at this point in the season since 1999. and it's just hard to wrap your head around that. It's hard to wrap your head around Jaguars and 7-3, and then we have all kinds of people like putting Jaguars and Super Bowl in the same sentence, and it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like this AFC right now is looking really, really weak. Like Chiefs just lost to the Giants there, and like a huge downfall. The Steelers, you got the Steelers and Patriots. Both those teams are like really well and seem to be playing really good football lately. But
yeah, Bills, they're in the playoff picture right now. They just benched Tyrod Taylor, almost like punting the season away because, you're really just going to go away. I mean, right now I think they're the second wild card, and they're benching their starting quarterback, so it's like they pretty much have like no playoff. Like they're not even shooting for the playoffs, it seems. So I think the AFC's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the playoff race. You have teams like the Bills, you have the Titans, Raiders, Ravens, even like the Broncos are kind of in the mix, and it's just not a good AFC wildcard race. Especially when you compare it to the NFC. And but this Jaguar team just. A good way to pull out a win. I mean, it was ugly, I know, but also the weather was really ugly, like wind gusts all over the place. D.D. Westbrook, I liked him in his return. He made a really good catch along the sidelines. For whatever reason, he caught one ball where he had both feet in bounds after a challenge.
What the hell was that about?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys saw it where Bortles kind of hit him on the sidelines. Beautiful catch, and he got his first foot down, dragged his second, and they called him out.
Yeah, I mean, the officiating was definitely really bad this game. I mean, you saw that one turnover they caused against Kaiser where, they get the ball, they scoop it, and Dante Fowler's about to score a touchdown, and they rule it dead. Like, refs in the NFL are trained at those kind of things to let the play run out because you can always overturn it. And, that's the second time that happened to us this year where they were supposed to really get a stupid score on there, and then they didn't. I mean, the refs were definitely questionable. The Browns did not commit a single penalty this game. And that's the first time it's happened since, I think, the 50s or 60s. It's outrageous. I mean, the refs were just awful this game. We were able to overcome that and, get this win. I don't care how you get it. A win is a win. And it was just, exciting to see the Jaguars moving on to 7-3 and going on to play the Arizona Cardinals next week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because Blaine Gabbert, ex-Jaguar.
No, it's funny in that game because there were, all three quarterbacks that the Jaguars had drafted in the first round, their franchise, are going to be involved in this game. Obviously, Blake Bortles is our quarterback. Blaine Gabbert is the Cardinals quarterback. And then Byron Leftwich is actually the quarterback's coach over on the Cardinals. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, Blaine Gabbert did play really well today. So, this Cardinals team, they may not be good on the record book, but I do still think that they, will be a tough team to beat.
Definitely. I will say, I was actually impressed with the Browns' defense. I thought, considering how long they were on the field for, I thought they did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, they got some pieces on defense, like Danny Shelton, he's a beast. Myles Garrett was in there making plays. Ogba, he got injured, obviously, but, he's a really good player. Body Calhoun. The Browns have a lot of good pieces, but they need to get, a better coach. They need, Hugh Jackson, I don't think, is enough of a disciplinary for a team that's both young and a team that needs to learn how to win. He has a lot of that, I feel like, Gus Bradley approach. They need to bring in, a hard ass, you know what I mean? I could see, maybe a guy maybe Jim Shorts coming in there or something like that, coaching them up. I don't know, but, the Browns, they're definitely a better team. They're not when it comes to talent-wise, they're not an 0-10 team. They just haven't won, you know what I mean? They haven't been winning at all, so.
Yeah, I mean, you look at teams, across the league, I mean, even the Jets, we barely have talent, and, I mean, the Jets they've managed to get a few wins here and there. You look at teams like the Rams who struggled big time last season. So, the coach plays a big part in it. You got any players of the game?
Players of the game, let's see. I'd have to give it to Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
2 strip sacks, that was really good. Boye, I liked how, he got that interception. That was a really timely interception. One player that kind of underwhelmed me a little bit, just because I do have really high expectations for him, is Jalen Ramsey. I mean, I thought he let Corey Coleman, coming back from the injury reserve, he got a few different plays on him. But, offensively, we didn't do much. I mean, I guess I could give it, a game ball to Leonard Fournette. But, I mean, our offense just wasn't moving much. And, you can attribute that to, Bortles not playing well or, the offensive line being banged up. The cold weather definitely had to have a factor in it, especially at the end of that first half when it was, snowing like crazy. And we just couldn't get much going on that. But, yeah, I mean, just good overall win for the Jaguars. But you got any like last thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say I would probably give the game ball to Leonard Fournette. I mean, I know like stat wise, like on paper, his numbers didn't look like all that great. But I think he was asked to do like a lot. Like he had like a lot of weight put on his shoulder for this game. I think, you know, he went out there and did his thing. Like he got so many carries in the second half, just like basically saying, hey, you know, Leonard, just go waste time because we don't want to have Blake throw the ball. So I think like for him like to not have any fumbles, to him constantly, you know, take the rock, and he was like, what, injured ankle? Or
yeah,
injured
he has an injured ankle.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, he wasn't even 100%. So I would definitely give the game ball to Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't think that Leonard Fournette was going to be getting that many carries. Like, you know, you heard all week that he was like kind of like questionable, and you know, I remember last week against the who do we play? The
Chargers.
Chargers, yeah. He didn't look his normal self. You know, I mean, he had like I think like 15 to 18 carries for like 20, 30 something yards, and you know, it looked like he was really, you know, hampered by that ankle. So I thought maybe he was going to get like another week's rest. But he came in there and, you know, he was running with authority. I thought he did pretty well. And, you know, yeah, he was definitely like the part of our offense that really kept it moving. But, yeah, the Jaguars win this one 19-7. Jaguars move on to 7-3 with sole possession of first place in the AFC South. It feels so good to say that, but you know, that's all we pretty much got. Appreciate you for joining the little recap video.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Congrats, man.
Talking some Jaguars over here. Definitely check out his channel, Jet Central. But with all that said, we out.